Well, hello YouTube, it's me, Fortmaster, and welcome back to another The Unwithered Truth reaction with Scott Cawthon wouldn't reboot FNAF, so I did it for him. And if everything I see here is to be believed, this is the long-awaited sequel to the Unwithered Truths video of what if the FNAF 1 timeline was planned from the start. So with that one, that was him basically remaking FNAF 1 as if, the entire story was planned out from the beginning. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is the video reimagining FNAF 2 in that same vein. So I, of course, have done a reaction to the FNAF 1 video. I'll put the link to that, in the corner video there. But yeah, it's been a while since that video came out, but I really did like it, just for, the imagination and, the way granted, how well thought out it was. I will not talk down about the early FNAF games at all. Because, again, Scott did the first 3 were put out in less than a year because Scott had no idea the first one was going to be as popular as it did. And honestly, given the circumstances, I don't think anybody would. So of course, again, you can kind of excuse the story being a little bumpy in places in that era. But I definitely do like the Unwithered Truth version of FNAF 1 and how he kind of intertwined stuff from the novelization from the movie and the week before as well. And, the whole cliffhanger thing at the end there where, your player character is saved from Golden Freddy by the puppet. And also, I'm curious how this one's going to play out. Is, in his, reboot verse, is FNAF 2 still going to be a prequel to FNAF 1? Is it going to be an actual sequel? I honestly don't know. But I'm excited either way. So yeah, let's get this thing started then. So of course, as always, original video is linked in the description if you haven't seen it for some reason. Corner video will lead to my Let's Play of the day. And if you like this video or any other video that I make, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because almost 3/4 of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'd very much like that to change, because my next big goal is hopefully at 6,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get this thing started then, shall we?
In my last video, I went through exactly what a reboot of the first FNAF game would look like if I were put in the driver's seat of the franchise. The response to that video has been overwhelmingly positive, and so I thought I'd waste no time and hop right into a sequel.
He said 8 months later.
You guys had a lot of thoughts regarding some of the changes and updates I made to the first game, so I tried to keep all that feedback in mind when tackling the second game. In case you missed my first of these reboot videos, I'm going to reiterate that this reboot universe that I'm making is drawing inspiration from, but not beholden to, the old lore. Any references made to classic FNAF games or books are done for fun and also to use them as building blocks for a new lore, which hopefully feels a little more cohesive as it's being planned from the very beginning. So if there's something here which is inaccurate to the original, rest assured that it's a change I'm making intentionally, and that very much applies to this game, as this one is going to be a much more severe overhaul than the first video. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the sequel to FNAF Anniversary, which I'm going to call Five Nights at Freddy's Heyday.
Okay, so just from that alone, so FNAF 1, his in-universe version, FNAF 1 Anniversary, was called that because it was the anniversary of the original accidents when the game actually took place. Heyday, I'm going to guess that means that this version of FNAF 2 is still going to be a prequel to FNAF 1. So that definitely, okay, that helps simplify things a bit. Ooh, nice. Well, of course, Troy Chico winked. Maintenance?
Good evening. We notice you're here after hours. Putting in the overtime, eh? Good for you. Afton Robotics always appreciates the
Helpy. Okay, okay.
hard work and dedication of its employees. It seems that you're attempting to perform maintenance on Error. Would you like a hand with that? Good. Glad to be of assistance.
Error.
If you have followed procedure, Error should be waiting on the platform upstairs. Please activate the retrieval button on the maintenance console to get started.
Error. Who's this going to be? Oh.
It appears appears our system does not recognize the animatronic you're trying to perform maintenance on. This station is only intended for maintenance pertaining to approved Afton Robotics creations. Are you sure you wish to continue?
Yeah, I only just noticed. So that's the Freddy from the thumbnail, and I only just noticed that there's a hand coming out of the shoulder. So yeah, this is definitely a prequel, and this scene is obviously right after one of the murders. So wait, in this case, are you playing as Afton himself, cleaning up after his mess or something?
Are you sure you wish to continue? Okay, let's get started. First, please proceed with any required maintenance and/or cleaning.
Added Freddy's parts.
Good job. Looks good as new.
Jeez, okay. Like, how many parts did you take? Like, before, it looked, you know, in good repair, just, you know, bloody. Now it looks like a wreck. What did you do?
Before we send back on stage, we must ensure the animatronic is functioning as intended. To proceed, please connect your FAS remote to the maintenance console. If you do not have a FAS remote or fail to connect one in the next 10 seconds, that means you should not be here and the authorities will be contacted.
FAS remote.
Good job. On your remote, 3 buttons should have engaged. The first is a prompt button, which will test animatronic responses to external stimuli, to ensure our latest and greatest animatronic toys remain fully operational during showtime.
Oh, really? Toys is an anagram? Really? Okay, I'm actually very curious as to what that could actually stand for now.
Between prompts, be sure to use your second button to activate your FAS remote's inbuilt flashlight and shine it directly at the animatronic's eye sensors. This will initiate a soft reset to prepare the animatronic for the next prompt. Be aware that these animatronics are considered heavy machinery. If the animatronic is not performing as expected and displays erratic or dangerous behavior, press the third button on your FAS remote to administer a controlled shock.
Oh, man. Okay, he was not lying when he said he was taking stuff from the original games. He's taking stuff from Sister Location for this? Okay. I mean, granted, I know, you know, again, you know, Sister Location takes place in the past as well. And like the whole, and with the exact time it takes place in the franchise being very murky and up in the air and sometimes. But the idea that, oh, you're putting it almost exactly at the same time as, you know, FNAF 2, with, you know, all the animatronics being made by Afton Robotics, so of course you still have all the same things such as, you know, controlled shocks and stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I'm liking this so far.
This should promote a hard reset on all internal systems. But be careful, more than 3 resets in a single maintenance session can damage equipment. So it's best to play it safe and report any failed maintenance to your supervisor. To begin animatronic responses, please choose an appropriate sound prompt package from the list provided on your maintenance panel. You have chosen Error. Press the prompt button on your FAS remote to proceed.
Okay, so we're going all the way to Pizzeria Simulator as well. Okay.
Please use the flashlight as instructed and document results on your maintenance panel. Let's try again, shall we? Press the prompt button to cycle to the next item in your...
Oh no. Oh no, it's reacting. It's reacting. Why do video game protagonists always have to do this? Why do they always have to go like and go like and to push a button instead of just, you know, doing it like that and not, you know,
your prompt package. Please use the flashlight as instructed and document results on your maintenance panel.
Flashlight.
Looks like that didn't have the intended response. Let's try again, shall we? Press the prompt button to cycle to the next item.
Yeah, okay. I'm a bit ashamed of myself. I only just realized what was happening here. This is the animatronic in its first stages of being actually haunted. Okay.
You have used more than the advised 3 shocks. Please submit this maintenance report so you may be appropriately reprimanded. Thank you for submitting your report. Punishment will be doled out swiftly. Please clock out and return home. We probably won't be seeing you again, so just in case, thank you for your mediocre service and have a fantastic life.
Maintenance minigames. This style of gameplay was first introduced to the series back in Sister Location. In that game, it was Funtime Freddy's maintenance section, and it became a huge aspect of the sequel Pizzeria Simulator in the Salvage minigames. If you're familiar with the latter, you'll know I'm taking heavy inspiration from that game for this one, and if you're worried about using too many of these elements too early in the series, I can assure you that if I ever get to rebooting Pizza Sim or Sister Location, I'll make sure to update those minigame sections to make sure these parts don't feel redundant. The reason I decided to use this scenario as the opening for the game is for a couple of reasons. First of all, the player is introduced to a few gameplay elements before they're required to use them in the base game, which we'll talk about those more in detail in the next few sections. And secondly, this is a tone setter for both our characters and the world.
Again, like, I can understand, like, oh, you got parts, and, like, maybe you'll take off the face, or take off the hands on Chica here. But, like, what did you do maintenance-wise that you're, like, jabbing holes into the costumes like this? Like, what are you doing?
This cold, bureaucratic treatment of things that are supposed to elicit wonder and excitement in children is off-putting, especially when there's obviously a lot more going on here than we may first realize. As with the first video, more will be revealed in the lore chapter later, but for now, let's talk a bit more about this new and improved Freddy's that our reboot will take place in.
Freddy's!
In the original FNAF 2, the pizzeria was lauded as a new location, much larger than the first game's map, with new state-of-the-art technology and overall an improvement in the company. So the first change that I'm making is that, for story reasons, I thought it would work if the FNAF Heyday building and the FNAF Anniversary building were actually the same one, just many years apart. To make this idea work, I ended up going backwards from my Anniversary map layout to design this new building from many years earlier. Obviously, FNAF 2 is a much larger location, so I needed to keep the base of the future map and expand it outwards. So, for example, what will eventually become the security office and the prize counter was once an entryway to the pizzeria, which wraps around a serving counter in the dining hall, connected to the kitchen, which remains in place. There's also a designated employee lounge next to these spaces for floor and kitchen staff to relax on their break. The dining hall remains mostly as it was, but the main stage, which exists from an even earlier version of the pizzeria, has been cordoned off, and the new main stage is to the right of the room.
Okay. So they're keeping with, like, oh, it's the same building, which I have seen in other interpretations, like in other fan works and stuff like that. But, like, so far, it looks like the building... Wait, no, it's talking about how it's a new and bigger than the previous ones, but they're talking about the previous iteration of Freddy's, not the FNAF 1 Freddy's. Okay, never mind. I was almost confused there for a second.
Where Pirates Cove and the Wraparound Arcade will someday stand is actually the location of this game's security office, which looks out onto the dining hall. Parts of the building which are left unutilized in 1993 actually expand this space into becoming a set of hallways which lead to new bathrooms, 3 party rooms, a secondary kitchen, specifically used for private parties, and the manager's office.
Secondary kitchen, okay.
The safe room is also yet to be cordoned off, so it's now accessible from both sides, one door to the back room and the others to the manager's hallway. Considering our restrooms are located down here now, we have this space behind the stage which is going to be converted into the new Kids Cove and arcade spaces. Oh, and because we're going to be situated in the new security office off here to the left, we're going to be looking at the pizzeria from this perspective. Of course, we can't get a real feel for this new pizzeria without actually jumping in and seeing what it looks like for.
Okay, actually thinking about it, if that was actually done, like in an actual game, I could see that being one of those things that the community would actually have to figure out. It's just like one of those things that, somebody posts on the Reddit one day, like, oh hey, did you notice that, like, this map has a lot of similarities to the FNAF 1 location if you turn it 90 degrees? That's actually, just something so simple as just rotating the map like that. That's really funny. I like that.
For ourselves.
Gameplay. Okay,
FNAF
what's
2's
different?
gameplay loop is one which is both reviled and revered depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Obviously, the original game introduced us to the 5 new animatronic threats and removed our familiar defenses from the first game. While in concept, I really like the idea of bombarding the player with new threats, in execution, there's very little which set each of these animatronics apart. Now, some people's approach to redesigning FNAF 2 is to give all the animatronics all unique mechanics, but I find that there are simply too many new animatronics to do that for.
Yeah, honestly, and even going back to the FNAF 1, I mean, like, you still had, animatronics that did virtually the same thing. Again, like Bonnie and Chica, they basically did the same things, just, on either side of the office. So it's okay to have, similar mechanics. The only ones that really, changed things were Foxy and Freddy. The only problem with FNAF 2 was the fact that, on top of, it wasn't just, 2 having, very similar, attack patterns. There was, a lot, almost 10 of them, which had the almost exact same attack patterns, like almost all the withered. So you had 3 animatronics that would just come in through the front door like that. You have, along with Toy Freddy. So that's 4 animatronics that just come down the main hallway towards you. Then you also have Mangle that does their thing. Then you also have Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica that come in through the vents, which also includes Balloon Boy. It's like there's a lot of stuff going on that's very similar.
So instead, I thought that giving the player new defenses and stronger threats would be an interesting way to go about tackling this game's fresh cast of animatronics. But why listen to me ramble on when I could have the man himself tell you?
Oh, wait, I like that. Okay, actually thinking about it, I don't think that's anything I've ever seen in any official game of or even a fan game. Because I don't think I've ever seen it in a FNAF game of any sort, whether it's official or fan, where you can actually see the animatronics from your position, without using the cameras or anything. The idea that you're just sitting in your office and even with the security glass and bars or whatever this is in the window, the fact that you're able to see them directly in front of you like that's an interesting take. I don't think that's really cool. Pizzeria with checkered past giving new life. Hurricane Church sets centennial. Management promises safety and security in the light of previous tragedies. The well-known family restaurant Freddy Fazbear Pizza, a longtime staple of children's parties and weekend outings in Hurricane, will reopen its doors tomorrow following what company officials describe as a significant restructuring. The pizzeria, which first opened locally before expanding into a nationwide chain, has seen its share of troubles over the past several years. A number of incidents ranging from mechanized malfunctions to unfortunate disappearances have brought attention to the restaurant for reasons unrelated to its once popular animatronic musical show.
Hello? Hey, Jerry, it's Ralph.
Hey, Ralph.
If you're hearing this, it means I figured out this voicemail thing. New renovations, new systems, and hey, new night guard.
Seriously, Balloon Boy's right there? I mean, granted, I know new layout and all, but why there?
It all went smoothly today for the opening, so
Oh, hi, JJ.
let's hope that continues with your shift. I'll be honest with you. Nights at this place can be pretty boring, but uneventful is exactly what we're going for. Now, apologies for this, but I gotta do the whole manager thing,
Oh, Ralph's the manager now.
Welcome to the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike where fantasy and fun come to life. Congratulations on your new summer job as a nighttime security guard. This building has been fitted with state-of-the-art security and surveillance technology, which has been designed to assist you in defending and maintaining Fazbear Entertainment property. And yourself, obviously. They didn't write that. I'm adding that.
At this point, aren't just employees classified as Fazbear property at this point?
All of these security
Oh, hi, baby. You're. What are you doing here?
features are accessible to you through your Afton Robotics patented Handycam unit. Our new line of animatronic performers also serve as Fazbear certified.
Of course, the Freddy garbage cans. Of course.
Technological officiators of youth security.
Wait a second. If there's a cam near the entrance, does that mean? Oh no! Wait a second. Does that mean that there's going to be an animatronic that's going to try to break out, and it's your job to keep them from doing that? Oh no.
Also known as toys. I swear they always come up with the name before the acronym. Sorry.
Wait, what did it mean? I did.
Technological officiators of youth security.
Okay, that's what toys stands for. Okay.
Also known as toys. I swear they always come up with the name before the acronym.
Wait a second. Are you actually going to be able to see them on the map? Oh, okay. Interesting. So wait, that also means... Oh, so that's probably going to be where the threats come in. You can, because they're like newer and more technologically advanced, the security system is designed so you can see where the toys are. But the wizards, due to their like location and age, they're probably not going to be able to see. They're not going to have the markers on the security system, so you can't see where they are just like off the bat like this. And also, wait a second, they're also like right here, which would mean they're actually really close to you. Oh.
Sorry.
That's right. In this game, the toys are on our side and serve as our main defenses against the wizards.
Oh! That is a twist. Never mind.
Now, we'll discuss this full office overhaul in a minute, but for now, let's focus on how these toys work.
Our new line of toys can be directed through your Handycam unit to obstruct or distract any potential threats to Fazbear property. Yeah, there's just a bunch of technobabble after that, so I'll skip over it. Basically, Bonnie and Chica make a bunch of noise, and Freddy deals with threats head on.
Using your camera map, you can move the toys animatronics from room to room, where each will carry out their own specific function. As Ralph mentioned, Toy Bonnie and Chica make a lot of noise, which you might be able to guess means they act as lures. Each toy has a short cooldown, which means you can't just spam them from room to room, so you have to be more strategic about their placement. Bonnie and Chica also only lure their withered counterparts, so you can't use them to completely disable all animatronics.
Hey, over here!
Oh, okay. Man, that's interesting. So the idea that the toys are good while the wizards are the quote unquote the well, not evil, they're the enemies, I should say. That again, that's another thing I don't think I've ever seen like anywhere in like a fan game or anything. I mean, I think I saw thinking about it, I think I saw something similar in like a really, really old fan comic somewhere. But honestly, like, that was so long ago, I don't think I'd be able to find it, like, at all.
We'll make sure the toys are only active when their respective wizards are out and about, so Toy Freddy won't be in use until Freddy gets up from the safe room.
Oh.
Speaking of Freddy...
Freddy doesn't like... Okay, right. Freddy doesn't like being watched.
You're my friend! You're not supposed to be in here.
Okay, so in this game, you don't seem to have doors either. But... Oh god, I am liking this. This is good. I think I remember talking about how I really thought he should like put the time in or put together a team to actually have these put together as like actual fan games. But like, god, this is actually insane.
Now, you might be wondering what inspired this change, and it was honestly my rejection of FNAF 2's lack of importance in the cameras. In the original game, the puppet's music box required the player to only ever stay on that camera in later nights, and there wasn't honestly much need to know where the animatronics were.
Yeah.
As long as you were ready to put on your mask, you could pretty much avoid each of the animatronics besides Foxy, and he's down the end of the hall, so you're almost encouraged not to go on the cameras too often. With Heyday's toys system, the player needs to keep track of the wizards and make sure that they're managing their defenses well. They have to be ready to move Toy Freddy into Withered Freddy's paths, or to set Bonnie up nearby Withered Bonnie to make sure that he's slowed down on his way to the office.
Actually, wait a second. I just realized that also potentially means that Toy Freddy has been basically, like, instead of a threat, he's basically become the equivalent of the wet floor sign in Ultimate Custom Night that kept, Rockstar Chica away from the office?
If the animatronics ever do make their way to the office, we're keeping our mask and flashlight mechanics intact from the original. From the desk-mounted console, the player can retrieve their Faz remote from the maintenance section and use the flashlight to stall animatronics that make it to the hallway. This console can also be used to charge the flashlight, as it will have a lot less battery than in the original version. In the event that the animatronics ever actually make it to the office, we can pop on an old Bonnie mask, I wonder where that came from,
and the toxic meter is back. Okay.
And wait for the animatronics to go about their business. Taking some inspiration from the unreleased dev version of FNAF 2, this mask mechanic has a timer, meaning you can't just hide in the mask forever. This also encourages the player to handle the threats before they make it to the office, as if they get too close and you have to wait for multiple animatronics to leave, you'll probably not last very long in the mask, considering it's a very musty, moldy, not made for human respiratory systems animatronic face.
I honestly doubt you'll have need for most of the security stuff. Worst I ever had to deal with on the night shift were some bored teens trying to make trouble. Ended up using a Freddy mask to blend in with the merchandise until they left. Yeah. I was never much cut out for the security office. But, hey, I'm sure you'll do much better. Okay, Jerry, it's been a long day, so I'm gonna catch some shut-eye. If you need anything, just let me know by tomorrow night, and we'll sort it out. Okay, good night. Oh, and, have a fantastic shift.
Trademark. Fun time.
Both the Mangle and Withered Foxy are some of the most iconic elements to come out of FNAF 2.
Oh, wait. Mangle, right? That would probably mean since it's like it's damaged state, that probably means it's also a threat, unlike the other toys. Okay.
With Foxy's light sensitivity and Mangle's mangledness. First of all, let's discuss our poor disassembled pink and white friend Mangle. If you've seen my sister location theory video, you'll know that I proposed that this toy Foxy wasn't a toy at all, but instead a holdover from the previous location. Understand that this will be the case for my reboot timeline. This version of Foxy isn't actually a Foxy at all, but instead a new member of Freddy and Friends named Funtime the Fox.
Funtime's supposed to be more kid-friendly and able
Funtime the Fox, okay.
to be played with, so she's a bit more malleable. Any amount of force just causes her to pop apart. Stops them from crushing any kids that might get caught in the joints. Not that that would ever happen, of course. At least, not again.
The Mangle, technically not being a toy, isn't controlled by our camera systems.
Yeah.
The Mangle's first function is to act as a sort of anti-toys character. When the Mangle is in a room, that camera will be glitched and full of static, just letting us catch glimpses of the twisted mess of animatronic parts. This also means that the toys cannot be sent to that room. This will lead to moments where the player wants to send Bonnie or Chica toys into these rooms, but is blocked by the Mangle. The player either then has to wait it out and hope the Wizards don't move closer, or they have to improvise an alternative strategy.
Staff was supposed to put him back together at the end of every shift, but I guess people got lazy. Obviously, we fixed her up for the opening, but I doubt it'll be long before she's back to being, well, the staff calls it the Mangle. Names like that tend to stick.
Yeah.
Anyway, those vents in your office are rigged with motion triggers. If anything does set off the sensors, just tap the lit up button and it should scare off whatever's scampering through.
Oh, wait a second. Those aren't lights. Oh, so they turn like fighting off Mangle as a mini game, basically. Interesting.
I'm told it's a pest control measure. A bit overboard if you ask me.
As the nights go on, Mangle will try and make its way through the vents toward us more frequently and will move more quickly, making it a mad dash to zap her before she makes it into the office. If the player isn't quick enough to catch him with these controlled shots...
Uh-oh.
Obviously, we have no toys equivalent to deal with our shy pirate friend, so instead, we're going to have to deal with him in another way once he activates on night 3. In this game, the front office door from the original has been replaced with a large window. Throughout the night, the player will catch glimpses of a shadowy Foxy progressing his way through the diner area, closer and closer to the player. The player will have to be prepared to flip the switch next to the office window to turn on the main lights, which will freeze the pirate fox in place. This way we keep our light sensitivity for Foxy intact without losing his more unique approach to attack from the original.
Wait, okay, so he's probably going to explain this later, but does this... So, but are you, like, actively fighting him off and, like, pushing him back whenever you do this? Or is this simply just a stall tactic where you're just making sure that he doesn't reach you by the end of the night?
It's also a subtle reference to the Fun with Plush Trap minigame from FNAF 4, which I always thought was quite cool. This version is definitely less punishing than that game, with a much larger window, pardon the pun, to catch Foxy. Hitting the light switch too early will mean the player loses access to it for a short time, indicated by the power box fritzing out. Again, another pun, sorry. Obviously, we don't want that to happen,
right,
as if Foxy gets too close and we don't have the switch to shut him down...
I like that. It's like just pushes Chica out of the way to get to you. The puppet. Here we go.
The puppet. One of my favorite FNAF characters, and also my least favorite element of the original FNAF 2. As terrifying and intriguing as she was back in 2014, the puppet's mechanics in the original game left a lot to be desired. I think, in concept, this ever-looming threat, which is only a few ticks of the music box away from unleashing hell on the player, is really cool. But in execution, as mentioned before, the player is forced to stay on the prize corner cam if they ever want to stand a chance of surviving the later nights. This mechanic obviously can't remain in this new version of the game, at least not without some alterations. I considered leaving the puppet to only appear on night 5, similarly to how I treated Golden Freddy in the first game, but honestly, this game is going to be our only real opportunity in the series for the puppet to act as a main antagonist against our player. So I don't want to waste her. How then am I going to handle the puppet in FNAF Heyday? Well, on night 2, Ralph has this to say.
You may have noticed the ceiling rails around the building. Those are actually a remnant of a previous restaurant. One of the old characters used them to get around. Now, that particular animatronic was supposed to be deactivated, but the technicians always had a hard time keeping it deactivated. So instead we found a way to repurpose it to dole out prizes in the arcade. To keep it functioning, though, it needs to come out of its box every now and then to
Hi, I see those. I see those eyes right there.
glide around so its servos don't lock up, which it does at night. Yeah, look, before it was a gift giver, it was sort of a precursor to the current security bots. Thing is, it was always a bit more aggressive. Considering you're there after hours, the old programming might mistake you for an intruder. So if you ever find it approaching the office, just use the music box system on your camera feed to stall it. For some reason, the lullaby sort of neutralized its AI for a while. So just make sure that you keep an eye on it in case it moves. It's best not to let it get to the office.
Okay, so this is the one where it's always coming closer, but you have to continually stall it for the entire night. Okay.
I think this system for the puppet keeps the same spirit as the old version, while making sure the player still has to use the camera systems to their full extent. The puppet is much easier to keep in place than the other animatronics, but letting it slip away from its current position will mean it's one step closer to nabbing the player.
Yeah.
This ups the tension and means the player will be panicking more and more as the puppet's inevitable crawl towards us progresses. Now, you might be wondering, what will stop players from just keeping the camera on the puppet the same way as they did in FNAF 2? Well, not much, honestly, but the point is that the rest of the camera system is equally as important. As mentioned before, the wizards still have to be monitored throughout the night, so yes, while you can sacrifice using the cameras to keep the puppet at bay, it means you're not able to deal with the other threats as efficiently. The most effective strategies require a balancing act of the cameras on all your threats, not just the puppet like in the original game. At least that's the idea. Those are all of our animatronic threats and defenses. So now, let's move on to...
Hey, what about Balloon Boy?
Oh, crap, Balloon Boy.
Wait a second. I honestly, I had almost forgotten that Balloon Boy was a threat.
Yeah, so in all honesty, I was really struggling to implement Balloon Boy in an interesting way for this game. My struggle was less to do with mechanics and more so how to implement him into the world in a diegetic way which made sense. I've settled on the following, but leave ideas down below if you think there's a more interesting way for him to be utilized.
Honestly, that is kind of, important. That was definitely one of those things in FNAF 2 that literally made no sense as to, out of, with the wizards, you can, the reason they're attacking you, they're the ones that are haunted, and on top of, the marionette, the puppet. Then, the toys are going haywire because, they were probably built on the cheap, so their programming isn't, really working properly. But then you just have Balloon Boy. He's always the one that kind of stuck out like a sore thumb.
So, considering FNAF 2 actually introduces us to both Balloon Boy and JJ, the latter admittedly in a smaller role, I thought we might as well give them both a purpose. We've got 2 balloon characters, and 2 doors either side of us. So, in either hallway, BB and JJ are situated in slumped positions. Like the other toys, these 2 are actually here to help, in the most annoying way possible. Throughout the night, both characters have balloons which slowly fill with air. Side note, I know JJ isn't really balloon related in the original series, but anyway,
yeah.
Once filled, these characters will hold onto their balloons until another animatronic enters their respective hallway, at which point... This is a warning system for players who are keeping too close of an eye on their cameras, or as a way to help out players struggling with the mechanics.
Oh... Okay, I was wondering, what they were going to do with them. And the fact that they're a warning system. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Or, and this is my favorite part, as a way to startle even the most locked-in players.
Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play...
Once these balloons are gone, they're gone.
Oh,
you
Mark.
could potentially have a system where they replenish, but I don't want it to become a case that you just have to wait for the balloons to pop throughout the night to know where the animatronics are. Anyway, now that those little mechanics are out of the way, let's discuss how everything comes together on night 5.
Okay, how's this crescendo? Non-canon and
Night 5
yeah.
starts as
Multiple
the prior
endings.
4 have, a call from Ralph addressed to Jerry. Except this time, Ralph's not alone.
Hey, Jerry? I wanted to call and let you know that after your shift, I'll need you to pull all the day and nighttime security footage from earlier this week. I can't say much, but there's been somewhat of an investigation going on. Nothing to worry about, just routine stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Whatever, man. Hey, look, I'm really glad you called. Did someone turn on those old robots in the back?
Like the originals? I don't think so. Why, what's up?
Look, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but they're not in the back room anymore.
What?
They're moving around the place.
On their own?
Yeah, look, I don't know why or how, but the duck seemed like it was trying to get into the office and...
Chica's a chicken, Jerry. Hence in the name.
Whatever. Look, I used the new one to keep her away like you said on the voicemails, but she's still coming closer.
Hey, keep calm. Everything will be alright. I know those old ones can look a bit spooky, but there's honestly nothing to worry about. Even if they did make it to the office, they'd probably just sing you happy birthday.
I don't know, man. They're freaking me out. Oh, God. Freddy's gone. He's... Ah! Okay. Whew, he's just standing there. Ralph, I think you were right. He's kind of cute up close. Not really. Oh. Wait. What's coming out of its eyes? Ah!
Suddenly, the phone cuts off with another ringing. We answer.
Hello? Hey, sir. Hope your first week is going well. Sorry I haven't gotten a chance to call before now. Things have been a bit hectic on my end.
Oh, so we haven't been playing as Jerry. Jerry's dead. Oh. Okay. I get it.
Ralph, I've been listening back to your calls from last week.
From last Oh, sorry, sir. I didn't realize they were still on the system. I thought it got wiped every week.
Evidently not. Why are you interrupting my night, Ralph?
Right. Well, pardon my asking, sir, but what on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo?
What memo?
The building is on total lockdown. This investigation has gotten really out of hand. They're saying someone might have used one of the old spring suits. You know, we have a couple in the back. And I want to say, sir, that I made it very clear that nobody's supposed to touch them. But they're saying, if someone did use one, it might have something to do with all the recent reports.
Oh. So this entire game, you've been playing as William Afton. Okay. Actually, thinking about it, that's a nice little touch, because, like, I know that's one of those things where, like, I know, you know, when Matt Pat did his Ultimate FNAF timeline, that, you know, that the whole thing was like, oh, in the original, you know, games, you were playing as Michael the entire time. And, you know, since Michael looks so much like his father, that's why the animatronics were constantly going after him. But, like, having it so in this one, you're playing as Michael in the first one, but you're playing as William himself in this one. Oh, okay, I like that. Okay.
I'm aware, Ralph. I've been speaking with the police.
I doubt this is what you want to hear, but they're saying we're probably gonna have to end up closing for a while. With all the panic and the new animatronics acting up, it's probably for the best. I promise I'll handle everything best I can. But for the time being, I recommend you finish your shift and try not to touch anything. It might contaminate evidence. I'll call you in the morning and update you. Just, please don't touch anything. Okay. Good night.
Suddenly the phone becomes garbled. The console on the desk spurs to life.
Attention, power levels unstable. The following systems are experiencing malfunctions. Music box, toys remote communication systems, Chica, Bonnie, Freddy.
The others are under my protection. Let's see how you score. With no protection at all.
The animatronic toys can't help you any longer.
Oh, I just saw the puppet's face there. So now the toys... Oh, that's fiendish. Oh, Chica, why'd you have to do that to yourself?
I didn't just throw 3 random threats at you in the last night of the game without any extra way of dealing with them. So throughout the night, the animatronics will one by one be reactivated for a moment, and you have to move them away from the office.
Oh, okay.
They'll go back under the puppet's control and continue moving back towards you. All the while, we've still got the wizards approaching us, and the puppet will slowly be moving closer to the office. She's preoccupied by controlling the toys, so she's much slower than on other nights, but her advancement is clear and direct. Eventually, the puppet reaches the office by 6 a.m.
You shouldn't have come back.
Where is she going? Into the vents.
So,
So that's how... So in this version, William dies. In FNAF 2. Wait a minute, how's that supposed to work? Because if they killed William, they avenged themselves by killing their killer. So, why were they still aggressive in FNAF 1? And on top of that, how's that going to lead into FNAF 3? Because FNAF 3, Springtrap, William goes into the spring Bonnie suit. But if they... And a mogul turned child service on the murder in the workplace, eventually disappeared. She was received by investigators. Reportedly shows the children being led into a rear service room by an individual wearing a retired company mascot costume. Authorities believed the children were killed shortly thereafter. So, did they just kill him, or did they put him into the suit and like spring lock him? Oh, okay. How's FNAF 3 going to work with this? Okay.
Obviously, this isn't the canon.
Oh, wow. Okay, I only just realized, yeah, we're like only halfway through the video, and I forgot this was the non-canon ending. Oh, okay. I was very confused there. Okay.
For the game, just a what-if scenario that our player is privy to without discovering the true secrets buried deeper within this game's lore. And speaking of which...
lore!
Okay, so much like the first video in this series, I want to try and keep the original spirit of FNAF 2's story intact, though as you can probably already tell, I have some much bigger changes in mind regarding this game's story. One thing eagle-eye viewers of the last video may have noticed was that in the Flashback Arcade minigames, the walls of the MCI pizzeria were plastered with posters of the toy animatronics.
Oh, okay. I'm blind. I am blind as a bat. I did not notice that.
And yet, they still maintain the June 1985 date of the original series Killing Spree. While some thought this might be a mistake, this is actually my first major change to the lore. In this new reboot universe, the MCI still occurs in 1985, but the pizzeria is the same one as we see here in FNAF Heyday. Now, why did I make this change? Well, in FNAF 2, we were introduced for the first time to William Afton, or as we knew him back then, the purple guy. Throughout the first set of minigames, we are shown exactly how William went about committing the MCI, Charlie's murders, and, well, this treat of a minigame, Save Them. While there is still debate to this day as whether or not Save Them is depicting a second set of murders, that was most certainly the most popular interpretation of these secrets at the time. And as impactful as that game tries to make these victims, it seems that going forward, regardless of the original intent, Scott decided to leave this minigame in the dust. There are no references beyond FNAF 2 to the DCI, at least in any direct way. Sorry, Lefty DCI. So, in my reimagining, I decided to leave the DCI on the cutting room floor and merge it and the MCI together. This also gives William the opportunity to stuff the kids into their respective suits, as the Wizards aren't on stage performing, they're already slumped in the back room going unused, making them the perfect vessels for him to utilize in...
Yeah, okay, again, that works very well. I like it.
Secret. But of course, this is only scratching the surface of the deeper narrative buried within FNAF Heyday. We've still got minigames, secret characters, and the true ending to get to, so let's not waste any more time and jump right into the lore.
Wait, does that mean there's also going to be Golden Freddy? Is Golden Freddy or Fredbear going to be appearing here as well? Secret characters, here we go.
The original FNAF 2 introduced us to a slew of new, seemingly important, but very confusing secret characters.
God,
now, I'm not going to be adding as many, or even the same, secret characters from the original FNAF 2, but following tradition, I think it'd be a shame not to include some. As we already have JJ out in the hallway, I still thought it would be fun to have a pair of white eyes which could be seen peering out from beneath the desk. And if you're unlucky enough, this could result in Dee Dee finding her way out and onto your desk console.
Really? Okay, you're going...
Dee Dee blocks your charging port for the flashlight and laughs while she does it, classic Balloon Boy style.
Okay.
These three paper pals return from the original sporting a new color scheme hinting at earlier origins. And finally... Wait,
I'm sorry, I blinked. So, wait, is that... That has to be like Fredbear or something like that. Who is that?
And finally,
Oh. Okay. So we're doing the whole Nightmare Rabbit from... Oh. Is he a hallucination? Is he like a remnant thing? Is he just like a creature made of remnant? Like, oh, okay.
as is true of most FNAF games, FNAF Heyday will also include a custom night, accessible after beating the game. Different challenges will reward
Roles reversed? Oh, okay. That's interesting.
players with different unlockables, some of which will appear on this shelf in the player's office.
Oh,
you can
okay.
see them displayed in the extras menu, or you can interact with them in-game.
Hey kids, welcome to Fall Fest. I'm Bomb Bomb Buddy, and this schoolhouse is hand up my back. It's a wonderful day.
In the first video,
An animatronic ventriloquist puppet. Okay.
I spoke briefly about an interactable phone placed in the office. Unfortunately, there turned out to be some weird video glitch, so I didn't get to discuss it fully, so sorry about that. Anyway,
Right.
in the same vein, I thought it would be cool for certain elements of this office to be interactable as well, such as the desk console. You can fiddle with these controls to change which song plays when we're using the music box.
Okay. That's just silly. Benny the Bunny. Young boy killed at local diner. And a big purple book. Oh, yeah. Wait a second. I remember in the first video there was a whole thing about, a secret code, and there was the keypad and stuff like that. I need to write that. Okay, that's either... Okay, that's backwards. So that's 8, 5, 2, 6. Okay.
This will allow us to listen to audio logs found throughout the game. However, as I'm sure you can tell, we've got no tapes to play. Now, obviously in the full game you'd be able to find tapes and listen to them, but unfortunately I didn't have time while making this video to actually make any tapes to listen. Throughout the nights, the players can also locate arcade tokens.
Of course, why do you have to put Easter eggs into your video like an actual game? Wait a second. What are these? Okay, truth phrase. Your special Fazbear prize. Huh. Okay.
Locate arcade tokens. If the player collects one, at the end of the night, they will be prompted to choose an arcade game to play.
Arcade minigames. Here we go.
Arcade 1, Hit and Run Dead. In this arcade, we play as a survivor of the zombie apocalypse, driving their way through the wastelands and trying to knock down as many shambling corpses as possible. As we're driving, we can drink collectible cans of energy drink to give us a speed boost, and at one point in the game, one of the broken sides on the roadway is glitchy. If we take this road, suddenly, the car we're driving is a deep shade of purple, and it's nighttime.
Midnight Motorist. I'll show him. Juniors. Purple.
Arcade 2, Blocker. In this arcade, our goal is to place obstructions in the way of monstrous creatures which are crawling their way out of the ground, like Whack-A-Mole meets Tetris.
Yeah, okay.
We want to make sure we don't block the way out for survivors, otherwise we get stunned for a moment. However, if we decide to block 3 survivors in a row and let all the monsters out, the game glitches.
3, okay. I wonder if what's the symbolism there? Blocked. I guess that does make more sense because the whole reason Charlie was even killed in the first place was because she was locked out and the marionette was like blocked inside the box. But like, why was it blocked inside the box? Who did that? In the original minigame, it almost seems like that's just something did. But no, this was purposeful here.
Arcade fun.
Oh no! Here we go.
Uncle Bill?
What are you doing outside, dummy? You can go round the front.
I don't want them to put me outside again.
What about your puppet? Or does Daddy's machine not work? It's okay. Kids can be so cruel.
Uncle Bill?
Yes, Charlotte.
I'm sorry about what happened. The other kids, they say it was my fault. They said if I hadn't been such a B-word, I wouldn't have made Mike angry. And if he wasn't angry, he wouldn't have done it.
Uncle Bill. Oh god, the thought of that. I mean, like, again, we know Henry and William were, like, they were co-workers, they were co-founders. So, I mean, like, I never thought about it before, but it made it would make sense that, like, their families would have known each other. And the idea that she might have been killed, or that she was killed by somebody she might have seen as family. Oh, that is horrible. That's even worse than... God, I mean, like, in the original games, like, it's never really shown or told why William did it. Everyone just assumes that, you know, he was sick and twisted and chose to do it. But here, like, does that make it worse? Or... No, that probably does make it worse. Whoa.
But it doesn't make any sense. I didn't do anything. I was trying to help. It wasn't my fault.
You know, Charlie, you're a lot like your father.
Uncle Bill?
Arcade 3 Dungeon Crawl. Dungeon Crawl is an isometric fantasy game where the player is a wizard who has to literally crawl through a goblin's dungeon with really low ceilings. The player must send fireballs in the direction of oncoming enemies and collect treasure.
Oh, hi!
I'm the marionette, but you can call me Mary. Please remember to treat other guests with respect. Please remember to treat other guests with respect. Hi there. Looks like you wandered off. Sorry. Hi there. Hi there. This is way too fun.
And there we go.
Arcade 4, One Nerd Army.
God, I mean, you know, that's the thing about this franchise. Like, pretty much everything we know about the story, at least, you know, the early franchise, it's everything, like, everything has either been shown through, like, very, you know, like, through, like, the pixel mini games, the 8-bit mini games, or it's been stuff that we've had to, like, infer and stuff like that. But seeing it almost, like, firsthand like this, it hits so much differently. And again, I know, yeah, you know, in these remakes, the lore isn't one-to-one, like, at all. But, like, the idea that this is a way it could have happened, like that, oh, like, that is sad.
This arcade is a classic side-scrolling beat-em-up. We play as a scrawny, pencil-pushing dork who's finally stepping up and fighting back. However, we have to be careful as we only have limited stamina, so we can't face all these threats head-on. We can use our special hide ability to blend in with our surroundings and let the thugs pass us. If we use this ability and never attack a single enemy,
The game glitches. No, it changes. One Nerd Army. So is that trying to, like, give some backstory to William, then? Okay.
Hi there. Please remember to treat other guests with respect.
Stupid thing. It's me, William Afton.
Of course, I know who you are, silly.
What?
All Fazbear Entertainment staff and animated property are legally authorized to use physical force in the state of Utah.
Henry!
Of course, I know who you are, silly. Wait. Oh, wait, what did that say? Animated all Fazbear staff and animated property. Animated in what way?
And animated property are legally authorized to use physical force in the state of Utah for security
Get in
purposes.
here. Your stupid marionette's acting up again. Dummy. What? Kids can be so cruel. It's me.
Oh, hi, Jackie. You're here a bit early.
What a sweet lullaby.
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. That was our missing link from the first game. We got to learn the truth behind the missing children, but we couldn't yet identify what made this spindly, zebra-striped monster crawling around the vents so special. But here it is, the truth of William's first murder. Obviously there are still details left up to speculation, but the bulk of what happened to Charlie before and after her death is now revealed. William's fascination with the supernatural begins with Charlie, a crime of passion that results in a decade's worth of horror.
Okay. Memories.
To achieve the true ending of FNAF Heyday, the player will not only have to complete the hidden arcade games we talked about before, but also play through the memories of William from the week prior to the game. Considering we're playing as this ruthless killer, our goals, sickeningly, must align with his, and it's our job to make sure his plan comes to fruition.
Discover and complete each memory segment on each night. Okay.
To start this trip through William's mind, we have to click and drag the U icon on the map to different parts of the building, the same way we do with the toys. On night 1, we have to drop ourselves to the exit.
I like that you can just click, you can just do that. I like to imagine you'd literally just teleport. Oh, okay, it's a workshop. Oh, wait a second. I only just... Yeah, okay, so we got... so let's see. Oh, wait. Heuristic, empathetic, learning program for efficient execution. Okay. That's how we're doing it. Oh, wait, I just realized also that he uses Toy Freddy as the logo for Helpy, so that can evolve into the actual Helpy later on. Okay. Edmund Murray Robotics. Okay, so I'm genuinely curious here. Because, like, I know, Edmund Murray and the whole thing that, he built, a bunch of, like, animatronics stuff was, in the lore before, in, like, in the short stories with the Mimic and stuff like that. But with Secret of the Mimic having come out so relatively recently, how much did that game's release actually change, like, the story that was going to be happening in this game, I wonder? Schematics. Design should be familiar to you, but I've made a slight modification. I need to prototype on my desk next week.
On night 2, we have to bring our icon to this small room at the end of the hall outside your office.
Manager's office. Yeah, okay. It's a girl. Congratulations.
Hi there. You have reached the office of Ralph Burgess. Please leave a message and I'll be sure to get right back to you.
Oh, right. So this would have been... Oh, okay.
Beep?
Congratulations, the baby. Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, Foxy was his favorite, yeah. Safe. Oh. Wait a second. Is there blood on that, or is that just what? Is that just regular? Oh wait, no, that is on the other notes. Okay, sorry. I live in Canada. Our money doesn't look like that. Alright, here's the card. The code is 4184. Another code. I wonder if that means anything, like in the context here. Access. Henry Emily.
This bonus item we've just unlocked will come into play later, but for now, let's keep our focus on the rest of the memories. On night 3, we drag ourselves over to the employee lounge.
The coffee machine. Oh.
Make the astonishing a reality.
Whoop. Purple vest. Why would you tear work coat? He's planting evidence. That took me way too long so that it's Henry that gets sent to jail instead of him. Because the other ending was non-canon. Right. Hi, Spring Bonnie.
Screen lock helper engaged. Currently in animatronic mode. Please turn my
Yeah, that's certainly a way of doing it.
Spring lock is engaged. Currently in soup mode. Please remove hired crying.
Okay, honestly, I do actually kind of like that. Because again, like, we always had, like, we never really had a solid idea of what the Springlock suits were like until, you know, Secret of the Mimic, when we actually got to go inside one. So depicting them as, like, high-tech pieces of machinery, as opposed to, like, the ad hoc, like, creations that everybody kind of assumed they were for so long, is definitely cool.
Finally, on night 4, we drag our icon to what will eventually become the janitor's closet in FNAF Anniversary, but here, it's something else entirely.
What is... Sister location elevator? Okay. So far up to this point, I've really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that, that Unworthy Truth has put into these reboots. And again, like, the whole sister location bunker was always really weird, but putting it beneath the restaurant. Okay, this is getting weird. Let's see, where is this going? How is he going to do this? Oh wait, that would also explain the baby poster from before. Is the warehouse literally below the restaurant? That's where, like, Baby and the other fun times are going to be. Oh. Artificial Foreman. F1. Oh. Okay. Building layout, pathing. Physical. I swear, this music!
With all evidence of William's crimes erased, and the blame pinned on someone else entirely, Night 5 will begin with a secret maintenance session. Throughout the week, we perform maintenance on Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. And now...
We notice you're here after hours. Putting in the overtime, eh? Good for you. Afton Robotics always appreciates the hard work and dedication of its employees.
Is this going to be Springbok? Fredbear.
Good. Glad to be of assistance. If you have followed procedure, should be waiting on the platform upstairs. Please activate the retrieval button on the maintenance console to get started.
Oh, wait a second, I just realized. So actually having the underground section, I guess it does kind of make sense given that, every time we've seen, this maintenance section, they're always lowered down on, like, the scissor lift. So that's literally them being brought down from, like, I would suspect part and services from upstairs. Okay.
Our system does not recognize the animatronic you're trying to perform maintenance on. This station is only intended for maintenance pertaining to approved Afton Robotics creations. Are you sure you wish to continue? Okay, let's get started. First, please proceed with any required maintenance and/or cleaning.
Ready. Removed. Good job. So wait, installed the Wizard's parts into Fredbear. And wait, the hat's different too. So this did he turn Fredbear into Golden Freddy?
Looks good. Good job. Let's try again, shall we? Press the prom button to cycle to the next item in your prom package. Please use the flashlight as instructed and document results on your maintenance panel.
I don't like how shiny it
Seems
looks
like
now.
this animatronic isn't responding to your prompts.
No, wait, that's it. He literally did turn it golden. That's why it's so shiny now. Oh, okay.
Whatever maintenance you performed has either been unsuccessful or has damaged the animatronic further. Please report this failed maintenance to your supervisor so that a more competent employee may rectify it.
Purple. Using Henry's card.
It appears you're trying to delete the contents of this maintenance session. Please confirm with your personal access code. Thank you.
Wait, what was that? Was that? Wait, so that.
With your personal access code.
4184. Oh, okay.
After completing this maintenance session, Night 5 finally begins, with a small wristband sitting on the desk, along with a note.
To your specifications, Edwin. That's the wristband for the puppet.
Everything is now in place, and William's plan can finally come to fruition. Night 5 goes about the same as it does in the base game, with the puppet controlling the toys making their way toward the office. The night comes to an end with the puppet appearing in the office, but in this version of events, William is ready.
Oh, just taking apart Mangle again. Sure, yeah, of course.
Uh-oh. Fun time's falling apart again. Want to help put her back together?
Oh, okay. What is that on right there? Is that like a ladybug or something? What is that? Why is it on Toy Chica? Or Toy Chica's voice actor, so Bennett screams. Okay. Very interesting. Very. In case you missed it, what is this? FNAF Anniversary End Cutscene. Oh, okay. For 100K. Yeah. See you when the FNAF 3 rebooted. Eventually. See you. Child murder, yeah. Henry Emily.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is William Afton.
Very good, Mr. Afton. Now, do you mind telling me where you were on the night of June 26th?
Oh, wait, there was another one.
Were on the night of June
What was that?
26th?
8485. 8485. Okay, now I'm wondering. So wait, what happens? The only thing, because I have these 4 codes here. What happens? Is the keypad from the first video still active? Okay, let's see. So the first one was 8, 5, 2, 6. Oh, that brought me somewhere. Yes! So this is WA underscore bunch of numbers log misguided. Okay.
My work, though succeeding in almost every aspect, has failed in the most important case. It seems my hypothesis regarding the reassembly of what most I could find of the original pieces has proven misguided. Perhaps it is too far gone, too broken to resolve. But I have not lost hope. No, not yet. I have done all I can here. If it is possible, it will be up to the girl to do as she's told on the other side. In the meantime, I will continue to observe them and hope that my work has not been in vain. No.
Girl told from the other side? Wait, right, yeah, of course! I forgot Golden Freddy from the first video! The whole thing with her was that not only was his son, Dave, in there, but it was also, he'd put like a bully in there, and I guess he had her working like as an agent from the other side or something. Okay. Huh. Okay, let's try the other one here. So it's 4184. This brings us to another video. This one is case number redacted, July 1st, 1985.
Welcome back, Mr. Afton. Apologies to have you in and out like this. It's just new information always leads to new questions.
Ah, of course.
Oh god, wait a second, there's more tapes. I probably missed a few numbers, but I honestly don't have the time today to look for them. I'm sorry.
We appreciate your cooperation in handing over your system logs.
Anything to make your jobs easier.
Right. Did you or your people take a closer look at those logs yourself before turning them in?
I'll admit I've been a little preoccupied as of late. I had to take up the night shift at the restaurant, and those logs are quite extensive, so I didn't have much time to go over them with a fine-tooth comb.
Well, as you can imagine, we did.
I would hope so.
Tell me, on your system, is it possible for anyone to use a company card as long as they have access to it?
Oh no, we have tighter security than that. I made sure of it. Only someone with a card and that card's access code can use the system.
And would you be aware of any other employees' codes?
Not at all. Each code is determined by the owner. Henry asked they be made available on demand to management in case we ever needed access to them in an emergency, but I overruled that. The privacy and security of my company system was too important to me.
Well, you see, Mr. Afton, Mr. Emily claims he left you a note detailing his access code along with his ID card.
I really don't know what to say. I was in England at the time, and I never received his card before that. Weren't you able to verify my time abroad?
Verify time abroad. Okay. So I'm obviously missing a bunch of codes here, but let's see what the last one, the 8485. It's this one. Case number redacted, June 30th. Okay.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is William Afton.
Very good, Mr. Afton. Now, do you mind telling me where you were on the night of June 26th?
I was in England that whole week. I arrived in Kent on the 23rd, and then came home to Hurricane that Saturday.
And what was the purpose of your visit to Britain?
My mother passed a few months ago, and I simply wanted to see the old homestead one last time before it was auctioned off.
Anyone that can confirm your whereabouts?
Well, I have the plane ticket stub, My passport was stamped, and I stayed at the Towers Hotel. I'm sure you can contact them and they'll confirm I was there.
I see. Well, that doesn't line up with something your friend told us.
Oh?
Mr. Emily told us that you and he had a conversation the night of June 24th. Something about a lost ID.
Oh, no, I'm quite sure I was out of the country. He must be misremembering. He did ask me about a week before I left what would happen if he lost his card, but it's not come up since.
I see.
Okay, so there's probably more code scattered throughout the video that I'm just haven't found. But I'm going to wait for the inevitable GT Live reaction of this to see all those other ones. But yeah, again, Unwithered Truth did a spectacular job on this, and I'm loving the little fan verse he's setting up here with these games, or games, quote unquote. Oh god, and God, all those glitches. There has to be stuff hidden in there that I just wasn't quick enough, or just not observant enough to notice. Again, see, there's a number right here. There's obviously more of them. But yeah, that's definitely going to be it for now. So yeah, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.